every once in a while, I find something that I really love, and I will continue doing no matter what. And I think art might just be one of those things for me.
I'm an artist, and as of about a year ago, so is Pewdiepie. About 9 months ago, I reacted to his first 2 art videos and never ended up posting it. So today, I'm going to complete the trilogy of Pewdiepie's art journey.
I don't draw. I haven't drawn since I was a kid. In fact, here's a self-portrait of me when I was 6 years old.
That's kind of what happened with me as well. I drew a lot as a kid, and then as I got older, I just kind of didn't draw as much. I would still draw every once in a while, but then in high school, I actually got back into art again, and that's when I started making some videos on it.
Pretty good, right?
Pretty good.
The semblance is uncanny. Here's another self-portrait I found that I drew when I was 8 years old. I have now evolved skin color into merging with the wall behind me.
Merging with the wall.
Artistic statement.
Wow.
In comparison, here's a self-portrait that Picasso drew when he was 15. I was a prodigy. I could have been an artist.
It's about the same.
But I stopped.
I'd say Pewdiepie and Picasso about the same level.
Speaking of which, I gotta draw my first drawing. Let's begin.
First drawing. Okay, let's see.
Ready to cringe? All right, so day 1. I drew a bunch of eyes.
You already did them,
because I thought every day I'm gonna learn to draw a different body part. That was a bad idea. Day 2, I just doodled, which, you know, is fun.
I wonder if
my
he's using
goal
references
with this
yet.
was to get better, right? So yeah, I drew a bunch of stuff from my favorite manga, Blam.
Okay, yeah, that's good. You definitely want to start off with references when you're first learning to draw, because else you'll be pretty lost.
It's embarrassing to show these. Day 3, yeah, still doodling.
Oh my, just a tiny smile face.
The goal of this was not to just draw a lot, but rather just draw a little bit every day.
That's a cool shot. I kind of like how in PewDiePie's new videos, he has like very cinematic.
I realized I could never draw a girl. Because I don't know about you guys, but I am in the girls are pretty,
That's not that
guys
bad.
are ugly game.
Okay, so I'm editing and I just realized that 2 of those 3 guys on the right side are actually female characters. That's already pretty good, I'd say. Like the top right one?
But if you draw a girl,
that's not bad.
And you want to make them pretty, it's hard. You gotta be good at drawing to do that. So I thought that would be a good challenge to teach myself how to draw a girl.
Little puppy.
And here we have the result, and it's awful.
It's not that bad.
Yeah,
especially when it's like his 5th day of actually like trying art again.
So I learned the basic of drawing the circle and the eyes and how to proportion it all.
I'm cringing so hard. They all look like elves.
They all look like elves.
I don't know why.
It's because of the ears.
Maybe because
they're a bit too high up. Yeah, they're a bit too high up, and
it's very frustrating.
The one on the top right,
better.
A bit pointy.
Actually, sometimes I do stuff and I'm like, oh, that one's not that bad actually. But then the rest is just awful. So
yeah, some of them, it's the ears. He's got to figure out the location of them.
Day 8, drew my second merge. It's bad. I erased.
It's hard when you're first starting to get the eyes looking the same.
Me and Marts, I went to a cafe. I tried to draw Marts, but it's just so cringe. It's so bad.
Aww,
I really thought I would be better by day 8, but here we are. So
they're all scribbled out.
It's more pain. Just
that one face is hilarious.
I'm so mad at drawing these. So infuriated. I'm like, why can't I draw?
They're funny.
What is wrong? Day 9, I guess I felt
9?
like I did a little better. That one's kind of fun. Day 11, I felt like, okay, I should probably know how to draw a body, right? So I practiced that a lot. It looks like I did a lot, but I drew these so quickly that, I don't know. Just a lot of bodies, started adding heads to them.
Yeah, that's what you got to do.
And it was extremely hard for me to get the proportions of the head and the body right, as you can see here on the right.
That is difficult.
That's not it.
The proportions of the head and the body, it can be tough.
So I switched to learning how to draw feet and hands for a day, just for a change of pace. That was easier, I guess. Day 19. I was panicking at this point because I knew I only had, what, 10 more days? Maybe you guys will be like, no, they're not that bad. Because that's what Marcia would always say, which was really encouraging, but I hated them so much.
What do you think? You like?
Yeah.
It's so cool that he's starting to draw, because whenever PewDiePie starts to do something, whether it's Minecraft or just whatever he does, it just becomes popular and everyone starts doing it. So hopefully this rekindles the art community. That'd be great.
Day 22. Yeah. These are not that bad. I quite like these. What happened?
Pretty good.
Why can't I do it every time? Why is it so hard to draw? Why did no one tell me? Day 24, I, for a change of pace, decided to draw some anime characters. You can see Power on the left. Following a reference was also way easier.
Yeah, when you're first starting off, you really want to learn from other artists. To just copy stuff exactly and then try to not just like mindlessly copy, but figure out what they're doing, where the lighting's coming from, how the proportions are working, and just doing the repetition over and over, copying like from different manga or whatever you're enjoying at the time, you'll definitely start to see more progress and you'll feel a lot better about your art and you'll end up improving even more.
After 24 days, I was finally having fun.
Yes, let's go. Having fun. Because art is really fun.
25, I was like, oh,
Me, the artist
better.
speaking,
I'm
of course.
improving now. I drew these all really quickly too, and messing around with different facial expressions. Same in day 26. I feel like every day you can see improvement. And I drew another merch, and that one's not that bad.
I mean,
day 27.
Everyone has bad days. So if you don't see improvement every single day, at least you can look from like point A to point B. Like for Pewdiepie, he's doing 30 days. So he can see from the very start to the last day how much he improved.
Day 28. I couldn't believe it. Felt like I could finally draw.
Yes, sir.
I'm not saying these are great, but they're so much better than they used to be. I feel like it's a bit cringe for a 34-year-old man to draw anime, but at least I felt like I was improving.
How old do you think the manga artists are? They're definitely not super young guys.
Day 29, improving still, and I drew a March and I love it. It's so cute. And that one's cute too.
Aw, drawing March.
Finally. These are pretty bad, but... And there we go. Day 30.
Day 30.
I don't like all of these, but some of them are kind of cool. Drew them just from my head as well.
That's really good. I'm impressed with him.
And guess what? Day 31, I kept going because I actually realized
day 31.
I enjoy drawing now.
Yes,
it's fun. I'm really sick of drawing anime girls or girls in general, but that was the goal to try and accomplish. Comparing these and these drawings with some of the first stuff I drew, you can at least say it's an improvement.
He's definitely improved a lot. It's kind of learning how to learn art. And once you start having fun with it, it's a lot easier to improve.
Honestly, this was a better result than I expected.
You definitely want to vary what you're doing over time. You don't want to just practice the same thing over and over, else you might become tired of it. With Pewdiepie, he said that by the end of the 30 days, he was getting tired of just drawing female characters and like anime characters. In the start, he was doing like hands, anatomy, arms, all kinds of different stuff. It's good to have a good variety of stuff when you're working on art.
I can totally see myself keep doing it. Keep a sketchbook and draw whatever.
He did keep doing it because we have part 2. All right, let's go to that now.
I drew every day for 100 days.
Every day for 100 days.
So let's look at the results.
Days. Wow.
Did we have the same kind of improvement or have I peaked? Let's check it out.
It might not be as drastic as the first video because from the start he like didn't know anything and then he started like using references and actually getting better. So in this one, I don't know how big of a jump, but I would imagine you'd still be able to see quite a bit of progress.
You know, 5 days after I'd done my video, I felt like I just lost sort of what I had gained. Like I was so mad about it and I felt like a fraud, like, oh, did I just trick everyone? Because I couldn't draw anymore. Still, I kept going and I tried to draw as much as I had time to do. So my favorite rhythm game is called Tunithum Sun, and they have these characters that are really interesting because they're so detailed and fun and weird. So I really like drawing these and I feel like I got the proportions decent enough, which I couldn't do before. So yeah, I love drawing these. Good. It's fun to try out different styles. I have not developed my own and I'm just trying to draw different things that I see and like as much as possible.
Wow.
And that's what everyone told me as well. The best way to improve is draw from reference. So I finished the book.
You finished the book?
I never thought I would.
Sheesh.
So I bought this new one at a local store and it was so shitty. Like the pages are so flimsy. And oh, what's this? New sponsor time.
Man, I wish there was some super cool platform that could connect brands and creators of all sizes for sponsorships just like that. Huh? Hello? Wait, what? There is? It's called Bix? And they're sponsoring this video? Bix is completely free and super easy to set up. You just make a profile, connect your social media, and boom, you're done. You're now in the Bix marketplace and brands can reach out to you for sponsorship opportunities. But what if you don't want to wait for a brand to reach out? Bix has a brand marketplace where you can see all of the companies looking to sponsor creators. You can see what they're looking for, how much they're offering, and apply with just one click. My favorite part about Bix is that you can message brands directly and get notified when they message you back. Finding sponsorships has never been easier, so go to bix.co to sign up today.
We'll go through this quickly. I started drawing more realistic, less anime, and I drew this one.
That's pretty good.
I couldn't believe I drew it, and I felt like, yes, I did it. I drew something I liked. It was also kind of a blessing and a curse because I would always compare whatever I drew to the best thing I felt like I drew.
Yeah, you shouldn't compare every drawing to your best one. And after you finish an artwork, lots of times you'll think it looks a lot worse because you've spent so much time just staring at it and you can see every tiny mistake. But if you take a break and then you come back and look at the drawing, a lot of the time, well, I find at least, it's not as bad as I thought it was.
I think I was having a bad day.
Aw. So many sketched out drawings.
Hated it. Always comparing.
I'd say don't scribble out your drawings, even if you think they're bad, or throw them away, rip them, because it's always good to be able to look back into your art. And if you destroy all your bad art, how are you going to see how much you improved?
Interesting, because now I look at this and I can immediately tell just like what's way off. Where the head is too small. It's not really balanced.
Wow.
Yeah, and the eye is way too high up in comparison.
You're starting to get the eye of an artist.
But anyway,
very nice.
It's kind of fun to go through this, to be honest.
Sounds
Spend
really
more
good.
time on some than others, I guess. I think 57
He's definitely
was
improved a
good
lot
day.
since the first 30 days.
Maybe not. Oh yeah, so I drew with no reference because everyone, I said, everyone said draw with reference. That's the best way to improve. So I wanted to draw without just to sort of see if I was improving, and definitely felt like I had.
His no references at this point are better than his references at the end of the first 30 days. So big improvement.
Yeah, I sort of plowed through this book. So I bought this really big one, like a proper art book instead of a sketchbook. And I tore off the first 2 pages.
Sketchbooks are proper art books.
Because the paper was so smooth and I wasn't used to it, and it was just so difficult. So no one will know what I drew, but I could actually fit a lot more into one page, which I think was really fun to just look at.
It can be a bit intimidating having big paper though, because you know, it's a lot of area to fill out and you can get just stuck just staring at a blank page if you don't know what you want to draw.
You can see how many attempts it took me to actually draw
All eraser.
something I was happy with.
Very relatable.
I feel like you draw one thing you like that will cost you 10 things you hate.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
I think I use myself as reference for some of these.
There's a lot of
I know
drawings
that's
that
kind
I
of weird. I just need
don't
the
like
pose
myself.
that I wanted to draw. Yeah, and that one too. I don't want to be an anime girl. I just need the reference.
I don't know.
This one in the
You're a
middle
little
is Marcia.
suspicious.
I drew it super quick. I asked her to pose for me.
Aww.
It's kind of bad, but it's fun to draw it.
It's still cute.
Here we go.
Drawing your wife.
So I
Colors
borrowed
along.
one of Marcia's pens, the green one.
Wow.
It was really bad in the beginning, but I used the other end of it, and I think it was just too strong.
Some
I never used a marker
colors.
before, so I wasn't sure how to do it.
He's never used a marker
I
before?
bought my own markers just to kind of try it out, and obviously it takes more
got
time
some
to color
alcohol
stuff,
markers, I think?
but I really enjoyed doing it, and it sort of makes them come to life more, and I was trying out different things. Sometimes it doesn't work. I drew that one, but I was too scared to actually commit to coloring it because I thought I would ruin it. I spent one day trying to do green, then another doing blue, and
He's going through like all the stages of an artist, all the different challenges and stuff people try. He's doing like one color per page, which I've seen a lot of artists do. Even I've done that. I've done like just a drawing using only green.
I did yellow, which I really love.
Yeah, yellow and black works really well together. It's like golden.
Red and salmon. I wanted to go through every color I had because I didn't have that many anyway.
Very nice.
I drew this one and I did it so sloppily that I felt like I could have done that better. So I really tried on this one. It's quite cute. Did a purple one. These are very anime drawings.
Really?
You know what
You
I
don't
mean?
say.
But it's fun to see it in front of you.
Yeah.
Too scared to color this
Just
one.
the eyes. Done that before.
Oh.
That one's pretty good.
My new favorite.
Very nice.
I love this one. This is on day 84. So it took me 40 days to feel like I drew something I liked again.
I mean, fair enough. Personally, I think that he did better drawings since then, but you can have a bit of a while before you get another drawing that you think equals your last best drawing.
It took me so many tries, and I was trying different. Anytime the head is shaped differently, it's like a whole different ball game if you're not used to it.
That's so funny. Just a reference photo of him stretching his neck upward, and it's so relatable.
So I drew from the side for the first time, and as you can see, it took a lot of tries.
From the side can be difficult.
I felt like I just needed more practice with different angle of the head, so I tried to do as much as possible.
Getting different angles down is good as well.
Coloring. It's a shame it bleeds through the coloring. I didn't like
that's why you gotta get thick paper, because else when you color, it bleeds through.
that one. I tried, I just wasn't happy with it.
Looks good.
Yeah, I like that one a lot. Too scared to color it. Don't ask me what happened here.
You just ripped out another
Still
page.
really struggling to be consistent with the different angles of the face. Messed up the eye. I remember liking this one.
Sometimes when you just color in like one specific accentuating feature, like the eyes or something, it just really pops and looks really cool.
So for day 98, I wanted to draw with you guys.
You wanted to
we'll
draw
do that
with
now.
us?
So yeah, I realized I
you
never
recorded
actually
it.
drawn anything and recorded it before, so it was a bit weird, but this is how I do it. I bet
PewDiePie's
it's
becoming an
wrong.
art YouTuber.
clearly, because
He's joining the club.
I like to do the eyes first just because they're the most important, and at least the placement of them. Then I sort of try and figure out where the chin is going to end up.
I usually start with the circle as well, and then the jaw, and then kind of do like a rough shape of the body or whatever, and the hair, facial features. Skipping head.
I actually decided to change the eyes. I don't remember why. Just felt like they were a bit too messy.
Fair enough.
I also decided to change the body to be front facing. It just felt more natural. So I added these little frog characters.
Aww.
Now we can erase the scribbles, which makes it look really empty.
PewDiePie needs to discover needed erasers, and then he can lighten up the sketch before he does the inking, so he doesn't have to just erase over top of the inking. That's so cool though. Just PewDiePie doing art is just like so nostalgic almost. Did I tell you I've done this massive drawing of PewDiePie back in high school, and it was just hanging on my wall. It's just a massive face of PewDiePie.
I wanted to make the hair gray, but I didn't really have many colors, so it was hard to make it work. I tried my best. I feel like the more different tones,
as long as you have like
shades,
2 colors,
the more alive it looks. So I wasn't planning to go this dark, but here we are. I wasn't sure whether to commit on the frogs, but I did anyway. Why not? So I colored in the frogs, and I decided to add some splash of green, just so the 3 colors would show up somewhere on her as well.
That's cool.
It actually looks nice.
Ooh,
but this is a result.
Cool background. I like it.
99, I felt like I could finally more consistently draw different face angles.
Yeah.
It didn't take me 600 tries, as you can tell by the lack of eraser.
Very nice.
In comparison, at least. And then on day 100, I just wanted to draw again with you guys a little bit of Chainsaw Man. I feel like what I draw usually is not as good as the reference. But hey,
I mean, that's
it's still fun to look at it.
Usually how it ends up, because the reference is drawn by a professional artist. So if you're copying it, it's usually not going to be as good unless you're like a really good artist yourself and you're like changing it some way to make it better. And especially if you have the reference right next to it to compare it to it, you'll be like, oh man, mine's not as good as the original. Aww.
Best girl, easily. So yeah, that concludes my 100-day drawing challenge. I owe a huge thanks to you guys for being so supportive. When I started going to the gym like 7 years ago, I was not in shape at all. After I've done it, I was like, well, I've done it once. Now I just got to keep going.
Yeah.
And then eventually I'll hit my goal. And
that's a really good comparison. The gym and art, they're very similar in a lot of ways, more than you'd expect. You need to practice, and consistency is how you improve and see progress.
I'm keeping the same mentality with drawing, you know? I don't know what my goal is, but all you gotta do is keep practicing.
Yeah.
That's all it takes. You know, you don't get better unless you actually put in the work, right? I definitely spent more time this time around than just 10 minutes a day, which is kind of the point, you know?
Yeah. If you can commit to 10 minutes a day, then you'll naturally find yourself spending more time.
I hope in a year I can develop my own style more, but we'll see you guys then. I drew every day for a year.
Wow, every day for a year.
Was it worth it? I really enjoyed picking up drawing, so I kept going. And I did a 100-day one, and people enjoyed it even more.
Yeah, the 100-day one was
There was no way
cool.
I was gonna stop. I had to do at least a year. And here we are.
Let's go.
Being here, I have so many emotions.
A whole year.
I'm happy.
That's crazy.
Don't do what I did. I just kept drawing the same things.
Oh yeah.
Anime girl. Too much anime.
I mean, if that's the only thing you ever want to draw, then that's fine. But most people like to be able to draw like a variety of different things. It's good to practice and improve so that you're more versatile.
Just bad. I was trying to be technical and like give myself notes so I can improve. I wanted to be more consistent. I think that's why I kept doing this. But if I had to redo it, absolutely not. This is where I should have moved on to.
Consistency is important, but it doesn't have to be like consistently drawing the exact same thing over and over. You can be consistent just drawing over a long period of time.
I should have just drawn anything else. And eventually I did. I really wanted to draw more color, but it takes so much time to do that, and I really felt like I needed mileage more than anything. So
that's the thing. That's kind of like what I do in my ASMR sketchbook, this one, where I have just the eyes colored for every single one. You gotta be willing to put in a whole bunch of extra time if you want to color all your drawings.
Finally, finally I move on and I draw boys. This is the boys arc.
The boys.
I drew so much guys from anime because I thought I drew
Like
so
Gojo?
many mangas. You probably
Goji?
recognize these. I think this is Jujutsu Kaisen. I think another thing was that people said I had an art background. That was like a rumor
He has
that
an
went
art
around.
background?
And I
What?
guess I take that as a compliment, but no, I do not. I have not studied art. That was the whole point of this video. I was not being disingenuous. I have not drawn since I was a kid, but I love doing Photoshop. Before YouTube, I loved photoshopping images.
That can help with like understanding the concepts of art. Even if it's not the same technical skill, like it's not going to help train your arms and wrists to make smooth lines, but it can definitely give you kind of like a starting point at least.
But I think the biggest sort of thing that helped is that I'm actually older. Like I'm 35 now, and I think if I did this thing when I was younger, I would not have seen the same improvement. But I also think, you know, the improvement I had, anyone can achieve.
Yeah.
Like, but an insecurity of mine was brewing, which was I couldn't, like if I wanted to draw
Brewing?
anime style. Sorry, it's hard to see here.
Oh.
You start with a circle, you
Never mind.
draw a middle line, you draw where the eyes are going to be, the nose, the mouth, the ear, and then you swirl in some hair really quick. This method is so helpful because if I drew directly, same thing, and anything is like out of proportion, the whole thing just kind of looks weird. So I bought this pen. This pen is amazing. It's a brush pen, and if you squeeze it, ink comes out.
Oh, I have one
And
like
you can
that.
draw really slim lines or really thick lines really quickly. And I told myself I was going to force myself to use this pen. I need to learn how to draw without the whole circle thing again. At least that's what I wanted to do. And it took some time. It felt like taking 100 steps back.
It is a good learning experience because I remember I practiced like just drawing with a pen, which means that I couldn't erase anything, which also helped me to learn to work with my mistakes and like be careful and just get a nice, really sketchy look to things.
That's how you have to improve, you know? You have to get out of your comfort zone.
It is good
But
to
I
get out of
think
your comfort zone.
eventually I started to sort of get the hang of it, and you can get kind of really quickly satisfying result with the high contrast. I did some manga panels, and yeah,
Contrast really makes
it's
things
like I'm
pop.
looking at a manga. It's really cool. Getting more comfortable. It's still so hard with proportions, man. Like anything is slightly off, it's gonna suck. This felt like a little side quest, but I'm glad I took it, and yeah, it was really fun. But what I should have been doing
It's good to be versatile.
is draw other things as well. I did find it amazing, like how I could all of a sudden, even though I never practiced drawing a cloud, I could draw a cloud better than I ever could. So that's cool.
Yeah, I feel like art does carry over to other things, even other art forms. Like I never painted before, and I took a painting class, and I already had a pretty good foundation. Like I could paint some decent things, even though I never painted before. I have like an art background, doing lots of drawing, so it was pretty natural to me.
I started drawing perspective, and I wanted to understand these things. Drawing landscapes. This is Nihei. I love his work so much. So
He's like
finally,
making a whole manga.
Finally, after, I don't know, 300 days of drawing, I picked up an art book. I should have done this ages ago.
You picked up an
so
art
I picked up a
book
couple
for the
art
first
books,
time
some more technical
300
than
days.
others, but I really enjoyed this one.
You can learn like so much stuff from YouTube, to be fair though. You can get a good basic understanding of all the fundamentals of art just from watching random YouTube videos.
I think if you were to be a professional artist, you probably want to pick like a human anatomy book and really study it. But
Yeah,
for me,
anatomy
it's just
is
supposed to be
something that lots of people struggle with because it's like so detailed. There's so many like little muscles everywhere in the human body that you need to learn at least the general forms of human anatomy to make things not look super weird. But then yeah, there's so much more you can do.
I think if I'm having fun, I will remain consistent. So at least that's
Yes.
what I was trying to focus
That
on.
perfectly said. Having fun makes being consistent so much easier. If you're drawing things that you're actually interested in, you finish your drawing, but you're still wanting to do more.
I picked up books about perspective because I want to learn and I want to understand this. And I think finally that clicked in me. It went from me just wanting to sketch whatever to, no, I actually want to understand these things so I can draw them better. And I wish I did that sooner. Again, this felt like taking so many steps back because I had no clue how to draw a body. Zero. I had not practiced it at all. I had sketched so much. It feels embarrassing to admit this, but like everyone was so amazed by my 101 that I felt like, okay, well, my year one has to be really good, right? Like, but progress isn't a straight line. Like,
Yeah.
I think I was being too hard on myself where I was getting close to a year and I'm like, I don't I don't have anything to show.
That's why it can be difficult when you like try to see progress like in shorter periods of time, because yeah, with art it's not very quantifiable. Like your improvement can be just learning more stuff. For example, with him taking these books and learning anatomy and stuff, you might not see the progress, but if you like take it as overall after the whole year and he like had to try to draw a human body just from his mind or something, after all this experience, it's gonna be an improvement, obviously, but it's hard to see that just otherwise.
I drew a full body one, and I'm like comparing it to my 80-day one, and I'm like, the 80-day one, it's still better. Even though it's just like full body, it's still better. So yeah, if you want to improve, you have to kind of go through the pain of sucking again, I guess. Because it really felt...
That's one thing that can be tough with art. Learning new things when you've been doing art for a long time can sometimes just feel like you're taking a step back, like, oh, I'm bad at it again. Having to practice the same thing over and over again just to get used to it. But don't let your pride get in the way of getting better.
Oh, cool. Like, I drew for this much and I don't have anything to show for it. I wanted to learn to draw and actually understand anatomy. Before, it didn't matter to me. It was just a hobby. But now I'm like, I want to actually know, like, how do you draw legs? How do you draw different expressions? I was genuinely panicking. Like, it's been so frustrated this entire month. Not only because I wanted to show for the video, but I felt genuinely in me, like, I know I can do better. And I really wanted that to show. So I really did push myself a lot towards the end here. And that's when I bought an iPad.
Hey!
Coming in clutch last minute. Super satisfying to draw with a pen on an iPad, but obviously it was way different. So again, it was like a last minute learning curve of me not understanding the program.
A whole new medium in the last month.
So I started off just sketching, and I was still too scared to draw bodies. I drew this, which I thought was going to be amazing, and I ended up really hating it. I didn't know how to draw hair. I at least tried to draw like a full body, but I was so scared of getting it wrong that I think I just made it look weird. So I practiced drawing hair, but it's just like nothing interesting about it. This is just to try it out. And then I thought, okay, I'm gonna really wow you guys. I started the line work. I tried my best to draw the actual hands. This is gonna be so good. And this is the end result. And I genuinely hate looking at it.
It's good though.
In my head, it was going to be so much more, you know? And then you look at it and you're like, oh, cool. That was it, huh? I desperately tried to draw something else because I don't know, like I felt like I could do more, but I kept drawing and I couldn't. Like it just came out looking weird and unsatisfying. This was supposed to be like the most simplest thing ever, like black high contrast with some color. Still, I didn't like it. And I was getting so close to the deadline. I drew a full body with perspective, and I thought it came out pretty good. I was okay with this one, but I still felt like I could do more. So I sketched for a couple days.
He's becoming a true artist. Never happy with his work. You always see the mistakes when you're an artist.
I told myself I'm gonna give one last effort. And this is the last thing I drew. I finished it yesterday.
That's good.
And I think I'm finally happy with it.
The last three have all been really good. Like, I know as an artist that you can just see all the mistakes in your own work. And if it's not exactly as you were planning it to be in your head, then it can be pretty frustrating. But honestly, all three of those were really good.
I finally drew clothes. That isn't just black.
Let's go.
And I actually put some more time to the hair and like making the lines look nice.
I love the highlights.
Small little details.
Very contrasty.
Having a high contrast light. Maybe it's wrong, but it's there at least. And I think it makes it more interesting, you know, with some shadows.
It does.
And
It
different
looks
pose, you know, all of it. I think I'm finally happy with it. I think for a year progress, yeah. Am I allowed to be happy?
Yes, you're allowed to be happy.
It took a lot of pain to get there, you know? Like, let's compare. Day 1, day 365.
Ooh, wow. Congratulations.
Know,
Welcome to the art community, Pewdiepie.
Maybe you guys disagree, but I feel like I finally beat my 80-day whatever.
You're a true artist.
This is still better. I don't know.
Thank you guys for watching, and until next time, keep drawing.